Shouldn't have asked me this.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
Okay, so I want to do way more of this, okay? I want to do way more of this, okay? I want to answer Patreon and YouTube members' questions way more often, and that's something that I'm going to start adding to this channel. So this is actually YouTube member and Patreon member Phil. He said, your ideal offseason trades, signings, starting lineup, bench, and depth for next season if you were the GM. Boy, oh boy, you shouldn't have asked me that. So guys, I actually made a document in which I just pinpointed step by step what I want the San Antonio Spurs to do, and I'm going to show you that in 1 minute, 1 second. And boy, man, I tried to get creative with it the best I could. Now, with that being said, before I get into that, really quickly, if you guys want to support the channel, all you have to do is go over to the YouTube channel. You hit this little join button, and it'll ask, hey man, you want to be a member for like $2? You want to support Clan for $2? And you'll say, yeah, of course I do. Or you can become a Patreon member, and that's only $2 as well. So if you guys want to support me, the links are there. I really appreciate all the love. Let's get into this. So like I said, bear with me. I have quite a few things to go over. Now I want to do step by step, but before we do that, let me just tell you my ideology behind this whole thing. And this is going to be weird. It's going to be controversial, but I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be real with you guys. The San Antonio Spurs right now, I tried to think of every single scenario that could kind of get us at a point where we could be a championship caliber team or even a good playoff contender in the near future. And I couldn't necessarily think of one, honestly. It's only one solution to this. And to me, that is the lottery. Right now, the lottery. Even when we're talking about DeAndre Ayton and we're talking about trying to get Zach LaVine and those two, I still don't think that makes you a championship contender. I'm just not bought on that. Not just yet. Maybe my mind will change later, but not just yet. So let me pinpoint what I want. I want the Spurs to have potential. I want us to have a really nice upside, but at the same time, I am willing for us to struggle this upcoming season and, you know, obviously get another lottery pick. I know that that's not ideal. It's not tanking. I don't want them to just say, okay, we're going to purposefully lose, or we're going to sit a bunch of players. I don't necessarily want that. But what I do want is for the team to have some type of upside, a really nice upside, but it's just not going to necessarily come together in the first year. And I think that doesn't matter no matter who you get. It's just going to be the reality. All right, so hopefully I set that up pretty well. So let me go ahead and tell you with my ideology, I want the team to be fun, but at the same time, you know, they're going to have some rough edges. This is what I want to happen. So let me go ahead and bring up the document. First and foremost, I want the Spurs to go after the Hornets' 13th pick. Now, you might be wondering, you know, how did I come up with this? This seems crazy. Jakob for their 13th pick, PJ Washington and Kai Jones? That doesn't make any sense. Well, if you recall, this actually has already been discussed. This was discussed, before trade deadline. It was right at the trade deadline, actually, in which the Hornets and Spurs talked about a trade involving PJ Washington, Kai Jones, and a first-round pick. Now, they were very hesitant on doing this deal with the Spurs because they didn't really know where they were going to land in the lottery. But now that they know, who knows? If they have a shot at Jalen Duren, maybe this is a squash. But I'm just saying that it's out there, it's open, it can happen, and I would love for the Spurs to go after this. Now, with that being said, this is going to be a lot of lottery picks, okay? Or not a lot of lottery picks, but a lot of picks in general in this draft. And that's actually what I want because I'm just so high on the players in this draft. But that's besides the point. All right, so let's go to the next order of business. I just want to talk about the Kai Jones thing because some of you guys might be really excited about Kai Jones. Well, if you are, I kind of not at this point anymore. But Kai Jones, he did have an interview with the Spurs before last draft in which he said, at least he said this, that it went well. Everything went well between him and the Spurs and everything was Gucci. And yeah, he really likes the organization. So that's what kind of happened there. So there is some type of connection between the Spurs and Kai Jones. It's not just random. Okay. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to this. All right. So next, I want to draft these specific players. Now you're going to hate it, but you're going to love me later. Probably not. So I want us to draft Dyson Daniels, Tari Eason, Marjon Beauchamp, Hopefully I say that right. I think it's Bouchon, man. Every time I hear it's Bouchon, but I heard people say Bouchamp, and it's like, I'm pretty sure it's Bouchon. Gabriel Procida and David Roddy. Now, let me go ahead and go into these players just really briefly. Dyson Daniels, everything that's coming out recently is ridiculous. Like some of the things that's coming out, like he was able to complete Washington Wizards 20 lines in 2 minutes drill that has not been completed ever since a 6-footer did it. Like it's ridiculous. Aaron Holiday, they used the last one to do it. But the fact that he's like 6'7" and he's able to do that just speaks volumes. All I'm trying to say is he has some untapped potential there, and his athleticism is stupid good, and people don't even see it yet. He's a born player, so people are like, I don't care. Now Tari Eason, we already know that the Spurs have interviewed him, and he's the closest thing, and I don't say this lightly, he's the closest thing to Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi, yeah, little Kawhi down there. He's the closest to Kawhi Leonard. Not only his size, but his hands, the size of his hands. But not only that, he's a good defender, high defensive IQ, mind you. And on top of it, he basically looks up to Kawhi Leonard. Like he said that he kind of bases his game off of Kawhi. So he is going to be the closest thing to Kawhi that the Spurs got. And this would just be a match made in heaven, okay? So I want Tari Eason. Now, moving on, also, Tari Eason, if you don't recall, I talked about this as well, is that DeJounte Murray, he went live on Instagram Live and wished Tari Eason, he told him, hey, man, I'm coming in for a workout. So this is insinuating that he does know DeJounte Murray, or at least they know of each other and they have some type of connection there. Moving on, Beauchamp. Beauchamp wants to play for the Spurs. And not only that, he has really nice upside. He's a really good slasher, really good defender. Not great on-ball defender, but he can learn. He has the length, everything there. I just think that there's a lot of upside, and I would not want to miss out on him. Now, if Sohan was available at 20, obviously I would go with Sohan, but yeah, I'm going to go with Beauchamp. And then Gabriel Procida. Now, a lot of things coming out about him. Now, what's really strange is that the Spurs did interview him. They talked with him, and it seems as if he just kind of went ghost. Like, he just, like, no one heard from him. And he basically went ahead and said, hey, I'm staying in this draft. I'm not going to withdraw. So that kind of insinuates that someone probably promised him a spot on a roster, and hopefully that's the Spurs that did that. So I'm going to go ahead and take him at 25. A lot of upside, and he's the one player, honestly, out of all these players that I think, just me, I think that he could become a star. He could be something brewing in the background while the Spurs are trying to get it together, and then he'll just break out. That's how I see it. That's how I'm assuming. I'm the GM. This is me, okay? I'm the GM. All right, let's go ahead and go into the next order of business. Also, he connected with Manu Ginobili. They were able to speak Italian together, and I think that's pretty sweet. All right, and last, obviously, I talk about David Roddy all the time, so I'm not going to really go into it. But David Roddy, I just love his IQ, and I know people will say he's 6'6", and what's wrong with me? Why would you take a 6'6" big man? Is he similar to DeJuan Blair? And I have to tell you, no, he's nothing like DeJuan Blair. I don't know why he keeps getting that tag anyway. Like, he's nothing like DeJuan Blair. He's way better. But besides that, look, these are the picks that I want. Now, I already know what you guys are saying, dude. These too many guards, bro. It's too many guards. I mean, Tari Eason, he could be a power forward, I guess. But, bro, like, come on, man. Like, you're not going to get any big man. Like, you're going to get a 6'6". Come on, Clan. Come on, bro. And I have to say, don't worry. But you're about to worry with this. I would also drop Collins. This is the next step, okay? Because I want cap space. I want some cap space. Now, I did some rough numbers, and I believe this gets us around $33 million. Now, if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure we have about $33 million. If not, we're going to have more than that, but it's going to be about $33 million. Now, with that $33 million, this is what I actually want. With that $33 million, I want the Spurs to go ahead and go after Colin Sexton. I would actually be willing to give Colin Sexton $18 million. I think that that's fair, and it is probably a little bit higher than his market value, which is probably around 14 to 16. And I think that that's a good way to go ahead and snatch him, okay? Because I really like Colin Sexton. I really think that he has a lot of upside, and he's definitely that dynamic scorer that I really think the Spurs absolutely need. Now, it's not just me saying this. The San Antonio Spurs have shown interest in Colin Sexton. So this isn't something that's out the blue. It's something that has been reported and has been out there that the Spurs do like Sexton. And him teamed up with Murray, I think, would be beautiful. All right, now with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next order of business. I want next Robinson. Give me Robinson from the Knicks. Now, I'm willing to give Robinson about $12 million. I would love for the Spurs to give him $12 million because I think that's another way just to go ahead and snatch him up. Now, if you're wondering what type of player he is, he's basically Jakob Poeltl, but better. He's better. He's better than Jakob Poeltl. I'm just kidding. Look, he's very athletic, good defender, a lot of upside there. The only problem, the only thing that I'm like, I'm not sure, is that he doesn't really have a jumper, and that's about it. But other than that, I really like him. I like his motor. I like his defense. I like what he can do around the paint. Blah blah blah. I just like him. I like the athleticism, and he'll be something that, you know, he's someone that's young and he has a lot of room to improve, and he's something that doesn't come with a very big pretty penny like, you know, DeAndre Ayton would, essentially, right? So I would really like us to go after Robinson. Now let's go ahead and end off this video because I have to show you guys what I am looking at. So this is what the team would ultimately look like. So as we can see, the point guard, DeJounte Murray, backing him up is Trey Jones, and then shooting guard, Colin Sexton, Josh Primo, Marjon Beaujon. I don't know. I hear it said so many different ways. Please just correct me in the comments. Devin Vassell, Dyson Daniels, small forward, and then power forward, Keldon Johnson. I think he keeps that position only because he earned it. And then Tari Eason coming off the bench for him. And then I would have Robinson, obviously. PJ Washington. Now, here's the thing. PJ Washington, I can see him either at power forward or center. And the only reason why I would put him in center is if we're going small ball. And I think I just look at this roster and I think, oh my God, is so much freaking depth here. You have some really good defenders, and DeJounte Murray, people don't say this, Josh Primo, Beauchamp, Devin Vassell, Dyson Daniels, Keldon, Tari Eason, Robinson. This is a defensive-minded team. It's really nice. And then you have your dynamic scoring Colin Sexton. And hopefully Devin Vassell makes another step this upcoming season. Now, the players that I would send to the G League, or maybe just drop, but Kai Jones. So if we really need another center, you say Lindale's not working out, we still have Kai Jones, and maybe we can bring him in and let him get some reps and, you know, become better. And then I would send Gabriel Procida. Now, like I said, this is my secret weapon, okay? Procida is going to be something serious, I believe, in the future. So this is my secret weapon, but at the same time, he's going to need to go against some NBA caliber talent. So I would send him to the G League just so he can get going, because really in this lineup, there's no way I could see him getting any minutes. And it's not him as a player. It's just, you got Colin Sexton. It's going to be hard. Now, you're wondering what happened to Doug, what happened to Josh Richardson, what happened to Romeo Langford. Well, this is what I would do, if possible, okay? And I know we're probably going to take on some players, so I'm not going to go too in depth about this. But Doug McDermott and Josh Richardson are perfect for any team that's a contender. So I would try my best to send them to any contender if we can get a first-round pick. Honestly, if we can get a second-round pick, I'll take it. But overall, I would love to try to send them out and get picks. I would use this for our future. So what type of team is this? This is a team that I think is going to be super fun to watch. I think that it's going to have a ton of upside, like a lot of upside. I think we'll even be able to probably see if any of these guys are going to be the it guy. So they'll be able to get reps. Everyone will be able to get reps with this type of lineup, in my opinion. And overall, I think that is something that we can look at. And even if the season isn't great, we'll be able to look back and say, wow, this is a lot of upside. And on top of it, I think that this team is, I don't know if this team makes the playoffs in the West, right? I just don't know. And oddly enough, that's just what I want. I want that lottery. If you guys know anything about, and hopefully I'm saying the name right, dude, I suck at names. I'm going to do better though. Wembanyama. If you go look at Wembanyama, OMG, he's ridiculous. And even if it's a 2% chance of getting him, I'll take my chances. He is absolutely incredible. So you guys let me know what you think. And also, one thing I didn't mention is getting rid of Doug, getting rid of Josh, getting rid of Romeo Langford. Not so much Romeo Langford, but Josh and Doug. That will open up quite a bit of cap space in the future if we did want to extend Keldon Johnson, or we did want to give DJ another pretty penny. We'll have at least a little bit more money to make those things happen, but we'll just wait and see. But overall, this is what I want. This is my ideal scenario, and I really want to know what you guys think of it. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you love it? I don't know. But like I said, thank you guys so much for all the support, and I'm gonna do more of these. All you have to do, if you want a question answered or something like that, just become a YouTube member or a Patreon member, man. It's really easy. Link in the description for both. And on top of that, I am going to be doing a giveaway. Okay, I haven't done it in a couple months because the last people that won didn't say anything. So we're going to do that again, and it's going to be for Patreon and YouTube members. But what we're going to do is we're going to do it as a trivia. So we'll do a trivia. You guys will join in on the trivia. I think we can have a max of about 10 people. So as soon as I send that link out to you guys, you got to get in on it. But we're going to do that. Don't worry. It's coming. And if you're wondering what it is, it's a DJ jersey. So yeah. And I have some other people, I'm babbling, but I have some other people that actually want to send me something, and I need to make a PO box because they wanted to actually use it as a giveaway item as well. So we're going to have to figure that out. But I'll get with you guys later, man. Thank you guys so much once again. Until next time.